tea. The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart.
We are back, Tankers Fantasy Football. We're going to give you some buy low, sell high, maybe even some guys that you're thinking about cutting in your league. We're going to give you everything you need to know here. But let's start off with some buy lows. And I really like McCoy here for a buy low.
I mean, people that drafted McCoy, they got to be out there thinking the sky is absolutely falling. I mean, it kind of was. And I don't
and it still might be.
I mean, but this Buffalo offense, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily going to get that much better. But you got to think this game got so out of hand so fast. McCoy barely even played any of the second half. He's going to be all they got. He's all they need for that offense. And you got to think moving forward, his floor has to be elite, has to be RB2. But God, I mean, the people that drafted him in that third round, they probably got to be getting talked off the ledge right now. So you could probably swoop in there and get him on a pretty cheap, sexy deal.
Then another guy I absolutely love, buy low. This guy I thought had about as safe a floor as anyone at the receiver position besides, you know, your top
I said
sexies.
I was going to wear the boas. I said I was going to go full Hollywood Hogan if he got 2 touchdowns, but instead of 2 touchdowns, he went out there and got you 2 PPR points and just shit all over your chest.
It was one catch for 8 yards? Is that what it was?
No, he had 2.8 points.
2.8.
Or something like 2 point something.
Maybe
I don't know, but it was fucking bad.
It might have been 1.8. I don't know. It was about 2.
It was so bad.
It was 2 range, and it was extremely underwhelming. And I just don't see how he has anything worse than that the rest of the way here. Even when Edelman
comes back, I think his role will be substantial. I mean, it has to be better than this. So I think also the guy that probably the owner is on the cliff, you can go in there and probably get him for pennies on the dollar at this point. They probably have lost all faith because the Patriots were moving the ball, they were scoring, and Chris Hogan was doing jack all out there. Another guy moving on, Alex Collins.
I think
got that early touchdown, but
I think another guy that we said with McCoy is just the game flow.
Got away from him. They pulled all. So that's at least a good thing for him. They pulled all the starters. He was a starter they pulled. That means they're trying to protect Alex Collins. That means he's important to the team. And I think this week, you all in, gear him up against the Bengals Thursday night, RB2. I think he's going to still be your boy.
And another guy, Kareem Hunt, only got you, about 5 points for you in an offense that scored almost 40 points, or scored over 40 points.
Yeah, I mean, 38 points. Kareem Hunt had under 5 full-point PPR points, which is just absolutely gross. So if you're talking about a first-round pick being able to be bought low on, I think now is the time. I think his value will never be lower, especially in the eyes of these like newcomers in fantasy football. If the person in your league
that they didn't really know who he was. They saw him a best available at the turn. They scooped him up.
They just see the Chiefs as a huck it, chuck it. We're going to throw it every down all the time football team. And that's not going to be the case. As we know, Andy Reid sometimes likes to forget about some of his better players. So these guys like Kareem Hunt just kind of disappear. But I think there's no way this guy doesn't finish the season as an RB1. So swoop in there and get him on the cheap if the owner in your league is being sketchy about him.
Yeah, and then in the same team, we could talk about Kelsey, too. If a guy just... Maybe, you know, Pat Mahomes doesn't like tight ends like Alex Smith does. Kind of losing faith in him. You could probably say you got Kelsey. Maybe you got... like Emmanuel Sanders, who absolutely
I don't know if I want to sell Emmanuel Sanders.
Blew it up. You might be able to trade one-on-one.
I mean, if you got Emmanuel Sanders on your bench and your starters look just as sexy as Emmanuel did, I'd consider that. But if not, I don't know if I'm willing to sell Emmanuel Sanders.
What about like a Randall Cobb?
He might be Case Keenum's new Adam Thielen. That's a little more higher ceiling, a little more sexy.
What about like a Randall Cobb for Kelsey straight up?
All in. You can get fucking Kelsey for Randall Cobb. You pull that trigger and you pull that shit now, baby. What do you think? All in.
I probably would.
Talking about a guy drafted in 8th, 9th, 10th round who went out there and blew it up. He got half of his fantasy points from like one of the last plays of the game, and the Bears just apparently had like 4 or 5 dudes on the field because there was nobody.
No safety.
There was green grass as far as the eye could fucking see.
Like he caught the ball 10 yards downfield and then just beeline.
You know who was fucking chasing him? You know who was behind him? Khalil Mack was the only one we had chasing him. What is happening? Like, he caught the ball and, like, the dudes in the secondary just decided to, like, take a fucking nap? What the fuck happened out there? You're just running. Fuck, I was like, well, I got 60 yards to catch him, and just nobody. Just fucking nobody. All right. Moving on from my Bears fucking... I just can't fucking stomach it, Bears.
How about one more here, buy low? How about a little DJ Moore? This guy didn't even have a target. This is a guy you probably got about 8th, 9th, 10th round, like we were talking with the Randall Cobb area. Not even a target. Had 1 rush, and it was just a bad game overall. A very underwhelming game when you're talking about Panthers and Cowboys for fantasy relevance. And I think moving forward, especially if Greg Olsen looking like he's out for the year again with broken foot, DJ Moore has to get a bigger role in this offense. I think you can get him for literally about nothing.
Yeah, especially in redraft. You probably might even be able to get him. You might be dropped. You might be able to go out there in the redraft. You might be able to go out there
you're
after
talking
this
short
week.
bench, you might be cut.
Check the drop players in your league. He might be on the radar because
if it's only like 14 or like 16 like roster teams,
even 20 teams. I mean, some of these complete redraft leagues that are like 10 team, 20 roster spots. I mean, a guy had an injury or something, needs to fill a spot. I mean, he might, cut a guy like DJ Moore because he didn't fight, he didn't show him nothing. He got him 0 points. He got like, 1 rush? No target. So, yeah. I mean, if he just like, just another rookie wide receiver, I can just cut him. I mean, if you got roster space, I think he's worth a look. With the Greg Olsen injury, I think they could start using him more over the middle, baby. He's an electric player.
All right. So what about some sell highs here?
So high, I think this is a guy you want to wait a week to sell high. I think he's still got 1 more week of absolute sexy deluxe production. I'm talking about Adrian Peterson playing the Colts this week. Joe Mixon looked like the man beast out there against the Colts.
Adrian put up almost 30 points on him?
Like 25.9, I think, full point PPR points. AP, he only played like 51% of the snaps, so half of the snaps. But man, he touched the ball like 30 times.
Catching the ball.
He had like that 60-yard catch toward the end of the game to ice it. I mean, he fumbled at the end of it, but it was basically like a punt because the fucking play went for so long, so it didn't really matter. It didn't really hurt him at all that he fumbled the ball, plus they were up so much in the game. We're talking about a guy who only played half of the snaps, and he touched the ball like, 30 times? 26 rushes, like 4 receptions?
That's all they had, pretty much. That's all
they don't have wide receivers.
Besides Jordan Reed.
Reed, Chris Thompson, and Adrian Peterson. You're watching it. You're watching Red Zone, and you're like, oh, Jamison Crowder looks like he's having a good game. Then you see a stat line, and you're like, 6 fucking PPR points? Get the fuck out of my face. Like I feel like a Red Zone showed me every one of his catches 4 or 5 times. I don't understand how I was under the assumption that, he must have had a good game, so I'm doing some workout on the Red Zone channel, and no. 6 fucking points.
Yeah, no wide receiver relevance.
No.
It's tight ends and running backs.
Tight ends and running back all day long.
All right, how about a guy in Phillip Dorsett looking good?
I know he's on our waivers. He might be on the waivers, but if you have him on your squad, if you can get paid for, you
might even be able to get Chris Hogan for him.
Yeah. If you can do that, I would do that. I know it didn't look like that was the thing to be done after week 1, but I think if you can go out there and trade Phillip Dorsett for Chris Hogan straight up right now, that's the golden ticket, baby.
I think. All right, how about some guys here? We're just going to run through dudes that we're going to say sell, buy, or just cut them.
Cut them?
Kill them. Let's start off.
Keep trading cuts.
Let's start off with the Giant with 20 points, looking good on Thursday Night Football.
You gotta pick. It's like love, marry, kill. It's like fuck, marry, kill, or whatever the fuck shit is. So we're looking at Ajayi, Henry, Adrian Peterson. You gotta keep one. You gotta trade one. You gotta cut one. Who you got?
I'm gonna I'm going to keep Ajayi.
Keeping
The
Ajayi.
second half, what do you have? 15 touches second half, and
I think he had a good 12, 13 touches second half.
And they're saying that he is going to be the guy more
It's
involved
you
later
think
on.
They have to come to their fucking senses. I mean, Darren Sproles looked like he's missed about 3 or 4 or 5 steps out there. He looks like a 34-year-old running back now. I mean, he had 5 carries for 10 yards. I mean, what needs to be seen?
At this point, he's pretty much like
5 carries for 10 yards, and one was like an 8-yard run.
You just got to keep him on the roster to do
God.
fair catches. Like, that's about all he's good for at this point. There's
Fair
just no
catches.
upside. Where's the upside?
I mean, are you telling me he had like 4 yards of catch too? You're telling me you can't swing it out to Ajayi and he can't get you 4 or 5 yards of catch? I think you're fucking lying to yourself. Give him the looks, boys. I mean, Ajayi even looked slimmer out there, didn't he? I don't know if it was the jerseys or
It
what.
was the number change.
I don't know, but he did look a little bit slimmer out there,
In the
Ajayi.
20s. In the 20s, looking
26, babe.
All right, so I'm keeping Ajayi. I'm going to trade AP. I feel like he got it. I feel like even after week 2, week 1 his value is looking good, but after week 2 could be even a little more.
If you hold
20
tight and he
points,
gets another 20-point game, oh baby, you catch that shit in.
because it's only a matter of time before he's getting hurt and starts to look like he's 35.
Yeah, I mean, eventually
The full season is going to wear on him.
It has to. Once he gets up into that 100, 150 carry range, I think it's going to really start weighing on him.
So that leaves me to drop Derrick Henry. We're talking cut him on your team. I don't know about that drastic.
Oh, no,
talking,
we're not saying you cut him. We're just saying if these 3 dudes, what the fuck situation?
I'm saying
don't cut him. Please don't cut your 3rd-round draft pick after week 1.
But I'm saying don't have him in your roster.
No.
Until something happens to Deion Lewis, almost.
I don't think he can. I mean, he's a flex player.
Deion Lewis
best,
is on the field. I don't think you can start him.
I do not think he is. I mean, I was off of him before the season started. I had him on the bust list, and I just don't think you feel comfortable in this guy in your RB2 slot moving forward until we fucking see something out of him.
I feel like
we didn't see anything.
This is literally becoming like a Jeremy Hill situation where if he doesn't find the end zone, you're looking at 4, 5, 6 points on a weekly basis.
It needs to be game script heavy, otherwise he's just going to be
And
a
especially
dud.
if Mariota, if he could possibly miss time, get injured, looking like they're going to play from behind, that's just more and more Derrick Henry on the sidelines.
Yeah. Oh, if they're behind, it's Derrick Henry on the bench for sure. All right, another trade, keep, and cut.
Let's give you the wide receivers here. So remember, you get trade, cut, and keep here. We got Brandon Marshall.
We got some bubble guys, guys that aren't like sexy deluxes.
We got Kenny Stills and Kelvin Benjamin.
Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. I think you got to
start off with the cut.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I think we got to just go ahead and cut Kelvin Benjamin.
And this is a cut.
I mean, I think you got to look. I think in redraft, you got to hold. You got to sit tight. Maybe 2 or 3 more weeks. But if there's a guy in your waiver wire,
no way.
I mean, if you're in short benches, cut the shit out of him. If you're in like
talking
5-man benches, like in the listener leagues, you gotta cut the shit out of him.
The Bills' leading wide receiver had like 24 yards. The quarterbacks combined to go 11 for 33 and under 100 yards. And there was garbage time in that because the whole second half they were down 700.
Oh, yeah. Well, they go, the quarterbacks went 11 for 33?
11 for 33.
Oh, God.
And there had to be garbage time in there.
Oh, the whole game was garbage time.
It was like 30-0 at half.
But they did pull their starters. But still,
But you're telling me Josh Allen can't get 120 yards in garbage time on his own? In a half?
I guess not. I don't know. But the Bills are on life support, baby. And Kelvin Benjamin.
Are we talking 0-16, Bill?
Dude.
We're talking playoffs to 0-16?
That's sad, Bills. I fucking feel for him.
And really, it's pretty much quarterback. I mean, offensive line's getting a little sketchy. But
They lost
we're
like
talking,
3 offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, Tyrod Taylor to another team, but besides the offensive linemen that are kind of banged up, there's really no changes.
All right, you're back to it. Cut Kelvin Benjamin's ass out of these 3. And I'm stuck on this trade and keep. I really like Kenny Stills. I really like him. I'm leaning toward him on the keep. But I'm not sure. Brandon Marshall, you could probably trade him, get real good value to the Doug Baldwin owner. What do you think?
I feel like Brandon Marshall's ceiling is capped. So I feel like if people are just dream weaving on some points,
I mean, he did do
good value from Brandon Marshall.
I think the targets are going to be there for Marshall moving forward.
But I feel like Kenny Stills could even see more targets.
Oh, no, I'm keeping Stills. I love him.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking, I really wasn't a believer in Stills, but there's just really not many options in this offense. If you're looking at Amendola and Kenny
Devontae
Stills,
Parker's coming back, and fuck Devontae Parker. He's a plate of piss.
I don't even view Devontae Parker as someone who's on the Dolphins roster, let alone my fantasy roster.
Piss judge.
So you have Amendola and Kenny Stills as your wideouts. There's going to be volume to be had. Kenny Stills was catching balls in the red zone at the goal line, which we thought this guy's
he only had 5
pony.
targets. That was scaring me. He had 4 or 5 targets for like 104 yards and the 2 touchdowns. Those 5 targets are scaring me a little bit. But, damn, I was high on him kind of coming in. I started him in my second flex of that one big money league. Man, he got a sexy deluxe out there. And I'm going to start him. I'm going to keep starting him until further notice. He's got to let me down.
Trade the B-Marsh?
I'm going to trade the B-Marsh.
All right. There it is.
Baby.
Once again.
Trade him to the Baldwin and try to get as much. You milk the fucking cow as much as you can, boys.
Once again, if you liked what you saw, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe. Make sure for you to share this video in your fantasy league to all your guys in the league. Say, look at these dudes.
Yeah, don't keep it
Spread
to
the love.
Yeah, look at these dudes. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't be selfish, baby. Share that tanker love to everyone, man. We gotta get it world. We gotta go tankers worldwide. How the fuck are we supposed to go worldwide
if you guys can't even give a shit?
Keep it fucking secret. You know what I'm saying? So get the fuck out there. Share the tankers if you're down, baby.
There it is. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck in week 2. We'll see you next time.
Cheeseburger.